KTBS 3 News continues.
A cutting-edge treatment for Parkinson's disease has made its way to Shreveport. Asleep deep brain stimulation is not a cure, but it can significantly reduce stiffness and tremors. I have more in this Architect's in-depth report.
On February 21st of 2008, Rev William McBride was called to lead his flock at St. Matthias's Episcopal Church on Cross Lake. That same day, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
It was a yo-yo of a day. That morning, I got diagnosed with Parkinson's. My bishop said he would support me if I wanted to continue. And this parish just wrapped their arms around me and said, yeah, we want you to be our rector, even with the Parkinson's.
As the disease set in, Father Bill, as his parishioners call him, developed tremors and came to rely on a walking boot for his right foot. Then his speech began to weaken.
In the church services, of course, I was mic'd, and the person on the soundboard, just kept pushing my volume up, so so that I wasn't realizing that I was not speaking loud enough for folks to hear.
In March of this year, Father Bill became one of the first patients in the Architects to undergo a sleep deep brain stimulation, or DBS, by this woman, Dr. Jessica Wilden. Wilden just moved here from California after studying with the creators of the treatment.
Like the heart has a pacemaker to make its electrical activity normal, the brain also can have a pacemaker, which is, of course, the deep brain stimulator. And this brain pacemaker can normalize the abnormal electrical activity that is happening in a movement disorder.
With DBS, a battery rests in the chest of the patient, and wires travel up through the neck to thin leads in the brain that control electrical pulses. Until recent years, DBS procedures were only performed on patients who were awake.
It used to be we would place these leads into the brain with the patient awake so we could test their symptoms. Because we're aiming for the deep brain, we're not sure exactly the right spot we need to be in when we're in the awake OR, because we have no live imaging.
In order to put the device in while a patient is asleep, Dr. Wilden performs the surgery in a completely sterile MRI suite where she can see live images of the brain, making it much more accurate and comfortable for the patients.
For Parkinson's disease, when they have to be awake, they get very stiff, they get very rigid. A lot of them have bad anxiety and depression during the awake surgery, and many of them have abnormal cramping of their hands or feet.
Father Bill was grateful to have bypassed this during his 9-hour surgery. He's now back in church, walking without his boot and speaking clearly. DBS has been a gift.
And physically, I was beginning to have to look at taking disability retirement, because I knew I was getting to the point where it was becoming increasingly difficult just to get around. And this, I mean, like you say, it's a new life.
It was amazing to see the changes he's been through. Bill McBride says he went from 22 pills a day to just 3 after undergoing a sleep DBS. He won't have to get surgery again, but he will continue to check in with Dr. Jessica Wilden to get that stimulator program.